Hey there, welcome to Contracts and Chaos. My name's Alyssa.
And I'm Brenna, and we're here to tell you that you are not alone in the mayhem of this real estate industry.
We're keeping it real and sharing our stories, strategies, and successes in today's real estate world.
So come join us every Tuesday while we talk contracts and chaos. Because it's time for a book review.
It is time for a book review. And Brenna, you picked this one.
I did, and it was on I have a new mic, so I keep feeling like I have to be closer to it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. You sound really good.
Oh, great. Because the other mic, it's always like right up in my face. So this one I'm just like, I need to lean in, but maybe not.
No, that's the power of a good mic.
Isn't that great?
Mine is like 8 inches probably from my face. It's not that close.
That's about where this one is. So excellent. Okay. I saw this in a Facebook group, and I cannot remember if it was the Mom Word Facebook group or the Girls with Grit Facebook group that somebody said, hey, I just read this book. It's really great.
And it's funny that you say that because I was at a presentation or something. Maybe it was when we went to Atlanta, somewhere around the same time. And someone said, you need to read the Go-Giver series.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's what changed my business. And I was like, okay. So it's been in my Amazon cart. Like, okay, I want this book.
This is very on brand for us. So
yes.
I think and as you started to read it too, I'm sure you were like, oh, we kind of already do like some of these things, right?
Yeah.
But when so many people were like, hey, this is a really great book. And it's like story. It's a story, not a step-by-step ABC tactic 1, 2, 3 book. I was like, okay. So what started out as one book, I have read all of them in the series so far.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, we fell off a cliff.
You didn't tell me that part. Okay, so are we going to make this a series then? Because I can listen. I have a lot of travel coming up. I can listen to all of them.
We totally can, because it was so easy. It's if you do Audible, if you do book. I did get the book version because I like to highlight and I like to take notes and things like that. And this, while it is story oriented, it is a story. There are tactics and things that you could underline, those one-liners and things that like really stand out to you, So the Audible was like 3 hours long. So while I was sanding and painting and doing the things, I was doing double duty. But the idea of this book, and I forget exactly what, so it's called The Go-Giver, and then it's like there's a line underneath it. Do you remember what it is? It's like a
come on, I can pull it up.
Powerful business idea or something like that.
Yeah, hold on, I got it.
Because it's a cute little thing.
Okay, hold on. It says my computer's not authorized to open my books.
Of course not.
Hold on.
But The Go-Giver is by Bob Burg and John David Mann. And they've written several books together. Like I said, I've listened to, I think, 4 of them now. So, and they're easy listens. They're easy to listen to, which is great. The idea of this book is not a cold call mentality. You know what I mean? The story starts with this gentleman trying to close out his 3rd quarter, and he's low on his numbers, and he wants to like call in a favor to get this big client, essentially. But what he ends up doing is going on this journey with this gentleman who is a big business guy, and he's like, let me teach you the 5 laws of stratospheric success, right? And he's like, oh my God, he's going to give me the secret sauce. I'm going to be a millionaire. And then suddenly and we'll go over them really quickly. The 5 laws are not at all what he was thinking, right? He's not telling him like, this is the one punchline to get you to the closing table, right? It was things like taking care of people, and that your worth is determined by how much more you give in value than what you take in payment, and things like that. And he's like, what do you mean? Like, I'm trying to like make money, and you're just telling me to be a go-giver, which means supporting people. And it was a beautiful story.
No, I felt like, when I think to relate it to real estate, when you go to conferences, or even when you're just at like lunch and learns or whatever, and you're seeing other agents and they're like, oh my God, you're so successful. What's your secret? Mm-hmm. I don't have one. I'm just a good person. Like,
that is the secret.
That is right. The secret. And that's what I felt like this book was saying. Like, this guy was the dude at those lunch and learns who's like, what's your secret? Are you using AI? Are you going after FSBOs? What is your thing? Mm-hmm. And we've all been there. I'm not shaming anyone who's been in that, because I've been that girl, because I didn't know. But that's what I was like, I can just picture like the vultures at the conferences who are like, this
How do you
one
do
breakout
it?
session is going to change my whole business. And I'm like, but it's not.
But it's not. Because,
It's
and
not.
this is the same thing though, too, because you could read this book and be like, that's so silly, right? Like, my cold calling is doing my business. And that's fine. We've talked about this before. But, coming from contribution, I think, is really like the theme of this book. Like, what you can give. If you go into a conversation or a relationship about what you can give, what you can provide as value versus what you can get from that person, comes back in tenfold, right?
Yes.
Because, karma. I believe that's a thing.
No, I agree. And like, yeah, your cold calling might be your tactic. That might be, or pursuing expireds or whatever. But if you're not doing it from a point of service,
Correct.
it's going to be a lot harder.
And that was a topic in there too, like that your income is a byproduct of how well you serve other people, not how hard you sell them, right? Not how fast you can get them to say yes, not how any of that. So, yeah, do you want to go into the 5 laws of stratospheric success? How do you want to do this?
Yes, we can do that.
Okay, you go first.
So, and I think the other thing, like, the thing I liked was, like, he wasn't just, like, sit down, let me tell you. He brought him to meet other people to show him how it worked, and so that they could teach him. And so the first one's the law of value. And the law of value is your worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. Let me say that again. Your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment.
But wait, Alyssa, like, if I'm not, like, making money, like, how am I paying my bills, right? Like, I need to make money. It's not about, like, I can't give more than I get.
So how many times have you gotten the text message or the phone call from a friend or a former client? Hey, do you have a plumber? Hey, I need this. Do you have a resource? Or even last night, hey, can you come walk my dog? We're stuck in traffic. And how many times have those people then become a client or sent a referral or tagged you in a Facebook group to be like, she's the best?
And it might not have anything to do with real estate.
No, literally last night. I mean, we've been friends for forever, but that's, as I was finishing this or working on finishing this book last night, I was thinking about it. I was like, these people started as friends. They could have used any realtor. We became friends because of a tragedy, which is a whole different story. And I would have been their friend no matter what. But it's the things like that, the being the good neighbor.
Yes.
Because that's what we really are, that brings you the business. It's not I still do the pop buys. I'm going to deliver some this afternoon. But it's not the postcards. It's not the, here's the value of your home. While those are helpful, it's the other stuff that goes with it. It's the postcard that's, hey, just in case you forgot what your fall, like, outdoor home chore list is before winter hits. It's the walking the dog. It's the having the plumber. It's those things. Like, you can't focus on the money. You have to focus on the service and the experience. So it's like, it's the little things. Like, and Brenna, I think you do these too. And I actually need to order 2 sets of them today. When my clients go under contract, I send them a moving package, and it's custom boxes with tape and stuffing and stuff.
Yep.
Every time they're like, "Oh my God, thank you! This is so helpful."
Cool. Yeah. And it's a double whammy because, like you said, they're branded boxes. So the moment, like, the movers are lifting those up and moving them into a new house, or they're strapped on the back of a trailer, like, it's all great. But
Yeah.
it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm sending this $120 like packing package and that's coming out of my commission. If that's what you're looking at this as, like, you have to reframe your mindset, because it's I don't want to say it's a poverty mindset, but it's like a, when you just, like, you set yourself up in, like, this tight, like, oh no, like, I have to penny pinch and hold on to everything, and then you just end up just losing out on all these opportunities because of that. you know?
Yes, exactly.
And that kind of leads into the second law that they went over, which is the law of compensation, right? And that one is that your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them, not about how many you close, right? Because ultimately...
Yes, that's an important clarification. It's not how many you close.
Yes, because it's a ripple effect, right? You drop a penny in a wishing well, right? And it just expands. It doesn't just disappear into the abyss and nothing else happens. That's transaction mindset. Like 1, 2, 3, done, right? The ripple effect, when you close a transaction, or you be a good person, you go help somebody, you read to a classroom at the school, you bring cookies to the firefighter station, like those kinds of things, it spreads, right? People talk. People mention your name in places that you would never be before. And then suddenly, it's coming around full circle because you came from a place of a good heart, giving for no reason other than to be a good person and to help.
Yes. Yep. Which leads into the law of influence, which is number 3.
They all tie together so well. And I think that was, the story itself is cute, right? It's not it's not a heavy read. It's really easy.
No.
But like each of these lunch dates that he went on, and mind you, he's leading up to the last Friday of the third quarter, he has to close this deal. And he's like, why are we going to lunch? Like, we're going to lunch with these people, like this man owned a hot dog cart, like these kinds of things. But all of them kind of mesh together. So then in the end, I'll tell you what happens in the end, because I know you haven't finished the last chapter. But go ahead with the law of influence.
Like 10 minutes out. But yes, the law of influence is your influence is determined by how abundantly you place other people's interests first. Mm-hmm. And this doesn't have, like in real estate, this doesn't mean, oh, you're in the middle of dinner and a client wants to see property and you have to jump and go. Absolutely not.
Right.
But you're putting the client's goals first. Even if it means, like, how many times have we told a client, don't buy this house? I did it a couple weeks ago. And I think I've talked about it on here. Like, my client has a very small budget. She's trying to lower costs. She found a house within that budget. And I kept telling her, this is a bad idea. This house needs a lot of work. You're pinching pennies here to spend them over there. Like, you're going to be underwater in this house. So finally she agreed. She's like, well, let's get a foundation company to do a free estimate. So I did. And he straight up told me you have $20,000 in foundation work.
Yep.
And he looked at the rest of the house and said, and you need a new roof, and you need this, and you need that. It was better for me to not close that deal because I knew it wasn't in her best interest. It's in her best interest right now to unfortunately stay in that higher mortgage than move into a house that might be falling down around her.
Well, that's the thing. I have a client right now, and this is a little off topic for the book, but like a client right now that, yes, that house is $50,000 cheaper than the one that we looked at, right? But it's also got a 24-year-old roof. The HVAC needs replaced. Like all of these big money items that you aren't lumping into your mortgage with a sale, right? We're talking like maybe 2 years down the road, you're having to do a $14,000 roof replacement. Where's that money coming from? For my sweet first-time home buyer, Right,
and that's what I told her. Like, I did the math of, okay, this is how much you'd be saving a month in a mortgage payment. Mm-hmm. How many months will it take you to be able to save for that roof?
Yep.
Or that foundation? Mm-hmm. That's decades.
Yep.
This makes no sense. This makes no sense.
The idea, too, is, like, this is so hard for people to understand, and I don't know why, but, like, when you're under contract, when you're working with another agent, the idea is we all want the same thing, right? So the law of influence also, I feel like, is a collaboration mindset, right? Where you give, I give, like, we're trying to make this work, but the other thing that they talked about in this book is 50-50 is a lie, right? Like, I scratch your back, you have to scratch mine. Like, that's not a go-giver mentality. That is keeping score. That is keeping track of, like, I did this, so I'm better than you are until you do something to make it even again, right?
Right.
That's not how this works. So sometimes, and I'll give an example, I gave a credit at closing last week, and I've never, not ever, given a credit for my commission at closing. But damn, I know, first time for everything. But listen, it was one of those things that honestly, it was in my best interest to do it, right? So the deal doesn't fall apart. But B, it was not worth throwing away the communication and the things with the agent. And I was like, I can do this, right? This is what I can do. And immediately, instead of like, well, we need this, the agent was like, okay, I'll put in the other part, right? And we will make it work for these people. And I think that was a great like in real life for me moment where I was like, oh, hey, look, it works out, because we're not battling either of our clients. Us as agents were like, okay, he was like, oh, all right, you're willing to do that, then hey, I am too.
Right.
So it's not about,
and it shows that you're not someone who's difficult to work with.
Right.
You don't want to be difficult just to win. You want to help. We want to do what's going to help everyone involved in the transaction, and sometimes that's also helping the other agent.
Because honestly, especially, and we've talked about this before, if you are in a smaller rural area, you are going to come up against that agent again. And again.
And again.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. So.
Yep.
And then number four is the law of authenticity. And we're not talking about necessarily just being like, oh, I like soy lattes in the morning, right? The most valuable gift you have to offer is yourself. That was the law. And this goes back to, it doesn't matter what kind of sign you have in the yard, whose massive company logo you're sporting. Even if you are with a huge firm that people recognize the logo, that they automatically have some trust built in, there's probably hundreds of people in that firm, right? They're not hiring you for a logo. They're hiring you for how they see you show up in the community, how you communicate, your personality, your different quirks that maybe another agent doesn't send shipping boxes or crumble cookies or things like that, right? They're hiring you because you are who they want to do business with. Whether that's connected with Real Broker, Keller Williams, EXP, any of those things. We're independent contractors that work under an umbrella, but you have to be true and authentic to who you are. And I feel like so many agents get lost in trying to be somebody in business that they are not on an everyday level, that they get lost in the sauce because it's so exhausting for them to show up as their authentic business self, that when they're done with their clients for the day, they go home and they're just like, oh my God, because it's not truly authentic to them.
Right. That's like when I see the people, like the agents who wear like the pinstripe suits or the heels and dresses every day. And I'm just like, maybe that is their authentic self. And if it is, cool, good for them. I just can't imagine showing a house in high heels. Like,
I've shown several houses in high heels. Have I regretted some of them? Yes. But right? I love some jeans and a blazer. Like I love that. Also, I'm rocking my local PTO t-shirt and leggings today. So.
Well, and I think but that also shows who you are too. And I can't, I can't imagine you, because I know you're about to go work on the house.
Yes.
But unless it were a dire situation, I also don't think you would run out of the house to show a house in that. Like, that is authentically you. Mm-hmm. And maybe if you were like, oh, you know what? I'm between meetings or I'm between pickups with kids, and yes, we can go see this. But, because don't get me wrong, I've shown houses in gym clothes. My client, like, when it was crazy, I was like, I just left the gym. I'm on my way. But I think this goes to much more than your appearance. But, like, for me, when I heard this reminded me of you and the PTO. And that is authentically you. Mm-hmm. You are being authentically Brenna. You are a mom. You are a professional. And so you have found a great way to authentically be you, but also get business from it.
Yes.
Because even if you weren't a realtor, you would still be that PTO mom. You would still be the classroom mom on the field trips, bringing the snacks, spoiling the teachers. Like, that wouldn't just be I do this because it's marketing. No, that's who Brenna is.
Before we moved here, when we lived in Maine and my girls were just in daycare, like, I would bring Dunkin' Donuts to the daycare lady, like the preschool ladies. Like, here's a dozen donuts, But, like, I love to do that stuff, right? It just gets me warm and fuzzy. So when I can do that and end up having that fill my plate also, that's bonus. Right. But I do think that I kind of hate the word authentic now because it's like so overused. Do you
Yes.
feel that way? Like people are just like, oh, you have to be authentic and authenticity and like, yes, but also now I feel like authenticity, the word is fake because
Right. And I feel like so many people are trying to over project their authenticity. Mm-hmm. Like if I see one more person be like, oh my God, my husband supports me so much. Look how wonderful he is. Oh, look, I had sweatshirts made for my team out of the goodness of my heart. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't need to if you're truly being authentic, you don't need to advertise it.
Right, those things don't make the news. Yeah.
Right. Or like it might be on my Facebook, but it's not about like it's about the way you do talk about it, I guess, is what I'm trying to get to. Is like I made a post the other day about me being at a video theater thing, losing my virginity in a theater, which I didn't actually have sex, people, but it was all about Rocky Horror. That's authentically who I am. I didn't say, oh my God, I went to see Rocky Horror and I connected with 2 people who follow me on Instagram, so that's going to help my business. There's a difference.
There is a difference. There's a big difference. And I think like that part of it in the story, the part of being authentic was just like, I think that's a good one. It's a good reminder to just be the person that you are.
Right. And wasn't that the lesson where, was that the one where he and his wife got in a fight because of the lesson, or is this the next one?
No, so that was the second one. That was all the way back in the Law of Compensation, I think, because that's when she was like having, they have like 30 minutes each that they can whine about their day, right?
Right, but I just listened to it yesterday, so it has to be closer to the end.
Oh, maybe. Maybe there was another
But
one.
that was, I think the one lesson was, to me, was he gave her that time. Mm-hmm. But then when he reacted, she got upset. And so he woke up the next morning. She was gone. He immediately went to, oh, God, she's mad at me. She didn't even say goodbye. Mm-hmm. And I didn't learn my lesson from yesterday. So now I have to cancel the next appointment. But then he saw the note.
Yes.
And he realized. And I was like, that's what it is. It doesn't always feel like you're learning the lesson or you're getting somewhere.
Right.
Sometimes it feels like you fucked up. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it feels like, oh, I messed that up. And then all of a sudden, her letter was actually like, thank you so much. I really just needed to vent. And it was exactly what, I'm sorry I didn't wake you up, but I thought you needed to sleep in today. Hope you're not late for work. Like,
it's good.
That's good. Being authentic. Mm-hmm. So the last law is the law of receptivity.
This one I didn't see coming. Just saying.
Really?
No, because when you think of being a go-giver, do you think of how you have to receive in order to be a good giver? Because no.
Yes and no, because I know I struggle with allowing help.
Well, me too. And maybe that's the problem.
Hardcore.
I'm like,
right.
Everything has to be tied. You tell me I look pretty. Well, thank you. Why? Right. Why do I look?
Like, what's different? Is it,
what
did I do my hair different today? Is this how I need to do my hair every day now? Oh my God, I definitely tried a different blush. So this must be the blush I have to use now.
1,000%.
Or it's, oh, I got 6 hours of sleep instead of 10 last night. So I must need less sleep. Like that's, or like when Ollie was sick and dying, I was struggling to leave my house because he had to have fluids twice a day. I was like keeping an eye on him. I wouldn't go do anything. And my clients literally said to me, we'll come give him fluids. Go do what it is. Go whatever. Like, we live across the street. We'll come give him the fluids if you show us how to do it. I have never felt so loved in return from a client. Or like when Angela passed away, we were looking for tables and chairs for the luncheon after. Clients reached out and said, my church has tables and chairs. We've got you. That was so hard. But it is part of it.
It's such a beautiful thing, though, because you can see that. You know what I mean? Come full circle. Last week, I had, I still am working on this closing. God, please let these poor people buy this house because we've been tied up on their sale out of state, right? Which is completely different than our process here in North Carolina. It's been a disaster. I would never get my license there just because I have
What state?
New Jersey contact anxiety from the contract that's happening there. Anyways, but they were here. Half of the family is here because they're relocating for work and his job has already started, right? So he's here living in a hotel working until the mess in New Jersey is settled by the attorneys and they can move here. But they've never seen the house in person because I've did all of their showings virtually, right? So they've never seen the house in person. He's here, he's working, his hours are weird. He's like, I can get there at 6:30, right? Well, if any of you have heard, listened, known, I have sports 5 days a week and Saturday is tournaments, right? So after 6 o'clock, like I have my work schedule, like after 6 o'clock, you might not like hear from me because that's my family time. And really it is, but
it took you 2 days to respond to my text. I was like, did she fall off a cliff?
Also, it's because like my kids are busy. So that's just how that was. So I was like, oh my God, like how am I going to do this 6:30? Because that was one of the nights that Maddie has a game and Violet has practice, right? And one of the moms was just like, I will grab Violet for you. You go do your thing. We'll meet you there, but I will bring Violet. So that gives you that 45 minutes to, and that was just, I was like, oh, this is the tribe. This is the community that I'm lucky to be a part of and participate in.
This is the village you've been building. Because I want to remind you, last week or 2 weeks ago, you reversed that for another mom. And you had a kid stay at your house overnight so you could drive her to softball camp in the morning because the mom had to work. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
It is hard. And we never actually said what the law of receptivity is.
Oh, yeah. It's the key to effective giving is to stay open to receiving.
Yep, that is hard. It's so hard. It's hard as like, I'm doing all the things, I'm whatever. And Travis like, well, I can bring Violet to practice tonight. And my immediate knee-jerk response is, it's fine, I've got it. Right? Because he's not saying she can't handle doing this and getting Violet on time. That's not what he's trying to do. No. He's trying to be
the village, supportive. The husband. Right? He's holding up his end of the bargain.
Yeah, so staying open to receiving, just like it keeps that ripple effect moving. You don't want to be the wall that it hits and has to go elsewhere. You want to be open to referrals, to partnerships, to relationships, to community, guys, outside of this business.
Yep.
We need
or
people.
Even inside of it. Like, I had nephew's birthday party last weekend, the weekend before. My clients were only in town for 2 days. So I took them around on Friday, and I had an agent help me on Saturday. Yep. And when I went to pay them, they said no.
Yep.
Well, that I was flabbergasted. I was just like, you don't have to do that. Like, I can pay. Nope. This is what we do to help each other sometimes. And I was just like,
well, and that's the thing.
Okay.
It's not selfish. It keeps the giving sustainable, right? You can't give if you don't have anything to give, right? So if you're just constantly just like outputting, it's like the mom in the empty cup, right? You can't pour from an empty cup. You have to have something poured back into you. I think the key here is, though, going back to that, there is no 50-50, right? If you expect it, you're missing the point.
Exactly.
I think that's the biggest thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I expected to pay this agent. I was like, what's your Venmo? Here, like, I knew it was going to be a couple $100s. I didn't care. My clients were taken care of. So I'll buy them dinner at Rise next week.
Nice.
But you get back to your point. You say the mom from an empty cup. I say when you're on an airplane and they do the safety thing, they always tell you to put your oxygen mask on first. Because if you can't breathe, you can't help other people.
Absolutely.
So...
But no, I highly recommend this book. Like I said, I've read...
Yes, I loved it.
I read The Go-Giver. I've read The Go-Giver Leadership. I've read The Go-Giver Influencer. I'm working on The Go-Giver Sells More. Like, they are all very good books, you guys. So I think that it's 10 out of 10 worth a listen. It's such an easy concept, and I think that's why it gets, like, overlooked and missed. Because people are like, oh, okay, yeah, like, let me just give some more and... hope that it comes back.
Right. I think as we roll into the holiday season, where for some of us business gets slow, wish I were that person this year.
Don't say that. You take that back right now.
I know.
Take it back.
I had 2 days this week with nothing on my calendar. I was a lost little puppy.
Oh my God, what's that like? Oh,
girl, I got so much of nothing done.
That's
but
amazing.
Now's the time. Maybe if you know you're going to have time between Christmas and New Year's, put these on your Christmas, your Hanukkah, your Kwanzaa gift list. Mm-hmm. Ask for them if they're not something you want to buy for yourself. But as you're building out your business plan for 2026, if things you've been doing haven't been working, maybe it's time to listen to some of these lessons. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's time to find a different strategy, and you'll find something in these books. I think these are a great read for this time of year as we're all starting to sit down and work on our 2026 goals, our 2026 business plans. Yes. If you need a little refresher. And these are easy reads. These don't, well, it is a business series. It reads like a beach book.
Yeah. It's really light. It's really easy. Yeah, absolutely. And just to piggyback off what you said, and then we'll wrap this up. Don't wait until January 1 to figure out what you're doing in 2026, guys.
Yes.
Start planning now, because I know that we're still focused. Like Alyssa and I both have lots of business happening this last quarter, which we are very grateful for, and we're not wishing away.
No, we're not wishing it away. Not at all.
But sooner than you realize, it'll be Q1. Those transactions will be closed and we'll be starting fresh. So don't lose that first quarter trying to play catch up because we've been busy in the last quarter. So
exactly. All right. On that note, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys. We just finished another episode of Contracts and Chaos, but believe me, the chaos does not stop here. So check out the show notes for our email address and where to follow us on socials, and we will see you next week.